Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome back to Babble On, the podcast where we are watching, reacting, and talking about the seminal sci-fi series of the 90s. I don't know why I decided to use that word today. Babble On.
It's a good
5.
word.
It is a good word.
Big word.
Yes.
It was the dawn of the streaming age. 4 friends, bound by a shared love of stories, embark on a journey to a legendary space station. 2 veterans of the ancient television wars, revisiting a familiar battlefield. 2 newcomers, eager to explore its mysteries and unravel its secrets. Their mission? To boldly go where many have gone before. This is the story of Babble On. The year is 2025. The place, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Jenny. I'm a big fan of the show, and I have watched it multiple times.
I'm Jen. I am also a fan of the show. I am a screenwriter and showrunner, and I watched it back in the day, and I forgot a lot of it, but it's all coming back, little by little.
I'm hearing Celine Dion in my head right now.
I'm Gus. I'm a new fan of the show. I am on my first watch through it. I'm also an actor. And Allie, who is our 4th member, is dealing with technical difficulties right now elsewhere, may just show up midway through this, or might not. We're hoping she does.
We're hoping she does. Be a pleasant surprise if she did. If you are watching this like back to back with the reaction, you may notice a change in wardrobe. Jen's got fancy purple lighting now because we are watching this. We're doing this a couple of days after we watched the episode. So yeah.
Yes.
Well, Jen wasn't here.
I was
that's
not.
right. Jen
I watched
wasn't
it.
here. That's right.
No.
Yeah,
I watched
Allie
it like
disappeared.
12
Jen
hours
appeared.
later. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we replaced one with another.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm Allie tonight.
Ooh, okay.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
exciting.
Yes. So the episode that we watched was called By Any Means Necessary. It is season 1. Yes, you got your SAG Extra Strong pin.
Union Strong.
Yes.
I don't know where my WGA pin is, but my Union Strong pin.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice. And yeah, this was season 1, episode 12. It was written by Katherine Drennan. Yeah.
I feel like I know that name.
I mean, you might. I don't know. You might know the name Katherine, because I feel like an idiot. I should back up and tell you, Katherine Drennan was at the time JMS's wife.
That's why I know that name.
Yeah, and I never put together that Katherine, as in Sinclair's Katherine, was named Katherine, like his wife was named Katherine. I never put that together until.
Well, when you put it that way,
2 days ago.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Yep. Catherine, who is Kath, not Kathy.
Not Kathy.
Yep.
Pool noodles will fly.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will just because he emphasized this so much. He made her go through. I don't know the. Can you? But yeah, go Jen.
Yeah. So JMS is a hater on Hollywood nepotism, and there's a lot of Hollywood nepotism. There's a lot of people who get a job just because they know somebody, married somebody, related to somebody. It's not uncommon. It's really common in LA and in Hollywood. And so, but also like we're in an industry where everybody's in LA.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are here, and so inevitably some cousin of Coppola. So everybody's related to a Coppola is what it comes down to. So they are. Isn't Nick Cage? Nick Cage is a Coppola. So anyway, everybody's related to Coppola. So at some point, nepotism is going to come into play. But JMS was a big proponent for not just did not like that. So he was like, I don't hire people that I know or like or am related to or married to ever.
Yeah.
Except that he talks a lot about how he and Larry DiTillo worked over and over again for years. Like they worked on the same shows, and they weren't writing partners per se, but they were
team, but not
writing they weren't a writing team, but they definitely it's nice to work on shows with people you like.
Yeah.
Like Allie and I work together because we love to work in a room together. We're really good in a writer's room together. Sometimes we write together. Sometimes we're just writers in a room together, which is the same way I actually work with my husband, which that's nepotism, but in a way, sort of. But anyway, so JMS told Katherine, like, you can't write on my show because I don't believe in hiring people that I'm married to. And I'm the EP and I'm the one doing the hiring. And she was like, it's a really fucking good show. I want to write on your show. And so he was like, well, okay, if you want to write on my show, you just have to like, and this is where I would differ. Like anybody writing on my show, whether they're related to me or not, should have to do all the same things anybody trying to write on my show should do. You submit a thing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Get approval from people. But he was like, you have to go through all the hoops and you have to do it even better than everybody else. And you have to like sign all the dotted lines. Anyway, he made her jump through all the hoops and then didn't tell anybody that they were related, which that makes sense because he didn't want people to say like, of course we better hire her. And then he was like, but if anybody has any question anywhere along the way, then forget it.
Right.
So she came up with a story idea, I think is my understanding, that it was like she pitched the story idea and it's kind of a one-off with like obviously with some through lines, but and then set in the outline and the execs for the outline and then the premise and the outline and then whatever. So it all worked out. She got to write on the show. Yeah. And I didn't have his name, so that made it easier.
Exactly. Yeah. And because his last name is somewhat recognizable, but
a little bit hard to spell sometimes for some.
He actually said that she made a very smart choice not taking my last name because it has like a million letters and no vowels. But I did find a note somewhere.
I can relate.
Yes. That any revisions to her script went through DiTilio, not through JMS. Like he was like, I'm not even going to touch it. Like
I like that.
Yeah. And then, because DiTilio was kind of behaving like in animation, we would call it a story editor. In live action, we would call it a head writer or whatever. But in any case, like, he was kind of the one approving some of the scripts. But yeah, obviously JMS was like, had his hands on everything at that point. And it does, I guess, in some ways make sense that he had him do it. But also, like, David and I, we were writing partners. My husband and I were writing partners for years. And then, I don't know, it's easier to edit his work than anybody else's because, I know how he thinks.
I read every single draft of every single thing Allie writes. Like I'm not because I'm like, you need to show it to me, but because she writes something, she sends it to me and then says, what do you think? So because I've read everything she's ever written, so I know that's exactly how David and I became writing partners, because he was used to having other people look at his work and he was like, hey, will you look over this? And I was like, cool, yeah, here's some thoughts. And then he was like, oh wait, this works better if we work together, which we did for years. And then realized we could make a shit ton more money if we actually weren't writing together, because you get one script fee, like as a writing team. That's
we're like,
thing.
Yeah, we could write twice as many scripts if we weren't trying to write them at the same time or together as a team. Yeah, and we still read each other's work and do all the same stuff. So basically, someone's getting both of us for the price of one anyway. So
that was a whole thing during the strikes, right? The recent, wasn't that something that was discussed during the recent Writers Guild strikes? Was that?
Yeah, part of it is that like there was a time too when like if you hired a writing team on a show, then they were still like either they had to split the weekly fee or they like and then their like benefits were wrapped up in being a team, and so like a lot of that has been slowly extricated so that if you're getting a team of writers, you actually have to treat them like two individual human beings.
Foreign concept for this episode, especially. People are just cogs in a machine. Otto will tell you. What was his name? Otto?
Oh, the smug
Ollie?
dude. I literally can't remember his name. Like the really smug guy.
Okay, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel.
Daniel.
Oh.
Yeah, Daniel.
What was his name?
It's okay. We know now. It was Daniel.
I think it was
Otto von Daniel.
Oren Zento, I think.
Oren.
Yes. Oren. Sorry,
Okay.
that's a Battle of Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would take one Oren over the other. It may not be the Oren you think.
Oh, I'm not sure which Oren I would choose. Wow.
That's
Okay.
exactly why. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. They're equally bad.
All right. I gotta play some Baldur's Gate. I know I haven't played Baldur's Gate yet.
You got it. It's so good. Although I am on the train for that for Expedition 33. So anyway.
Yes, you do.
Yes. So yeah, thoughts on this episode? I know like both of you just went through a massive, a year ago, was it? Like went through a massive strike. So
time has gone really fast since the pandemic started wrapping itself up in terms of its major effects on us. So I have no idea how long. It was like a year and a half.
I don't know.
It was 2 summers ago.
Oh,
it was
wow.
23, summer of 23.
Oh, it's that long.
I know.
Damn.
Yep.
I can't believe it's that long ago.
Weird.
And Gus and I are also both Michiganders. So we come from a land. We come from the land down under. No, we come from the land of strikes.
Right.
We come from the land of unions and union strong. I mean, I'm a member of many. I'm in a lot of unions, actually. I think I'm still in a teacher's union somewhere. It's been a while since I was a teacher, but so that was cool. And, it was interesting because you mentioned, I missed this in the episode, but there was some reference to Matewan.
Yeah, the Matewan strike. Or Matewan.
Yeah, and so the Matewan strike, and they're like, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Matewan with Mary McDonnell.
Oh, President Roslin?
Little bit of... Yes, President Roslin. I love her. I'll watch anything she does, always and forever. She's one of my absolute favorite actresses on the planet, and it's a fantastic film. She's in it. She's great. She's great in it. But yeah, I love a union film, love a strike show. Like in terms of like, it's hard for me to. This was great. I mean, this is what we've talking about on this show. That's so good. Is that it is about nuance.
Yeah,
and it isn't always black and white, and there isn't a right answer. And Sinclair, this is interesting. So my dad was a teacher, and then he became an administrator, and then eventually he moved into the board office after he left being a principal, and he moved into the board office and he became head of HR. And that meant he went from one side of the table to the other side, when it came to negotiating and bargaining.
Right,
and so, and so of course, like he was great as on the wrong side of it, because he was like, I know what it's like to be on the other side. So I keep that in mind. But then he was like, damn teachers want everything. I mean, he didn't really, he was great, but it is interesting when you're on the other side of it. And I like watching Sinclair to me, and this one was like watching my dad, because I was like, he's like, yes. And we have all these people that are backed up. Yes. We have food that's going to spoil if it doesn't go out, if it doesn't get like brought onto the, like there's stuff that has to get taken care of. And I hear you, I hear your plight, but I need you. I still need you to not strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which
it was interesting.
To which you then get the response, then make sure we don't die.
Yeah.
Or because like we don't care. It's so well handled. It's really, I think I brought up while we were watching this that not Babylon. That's going to happen several times. Battlestar, not Battlestar 5. Battlestar Galactica also had an episode where much of the crew goes on strike.
It was the introduction of Zarek.
Oh, I think you're right.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Richard Hatch episode, the first one he comes in. And Zarek was because he was a prisoner, but he was in charge of because
he could wrangle the workers or something. And the way they ultimately resolve that after a full episode is Adama goes, okay, line everybody up against the bulkhead and shoot them if they don't go back to work. And that's a different context and a different show and a different solution and a different premise and not something I would think would apply remotely to Babylon 5, because in that show there's 30, 45, 48,000 people, and if they don't operate perfectly efficiently, everybody will die.
Yes, and that's like literally the remnants of humanity in that show. Like it's not
everybody else is dead. Spoilers, I guess, for the first episode of Battlestar Galactica 5.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, literally the concept. But I'm going into that and I was like, okay, this is not an episode I have seen as often. We joke a lot about, it's this one. Because the early 90s sci-fi, especially when you're trying to trick the network into thinking that this is episodic, is going to hit a lot of the same points that you've seen in other things, because by the way, do them a lot more nuanced usually in my experience with this so far than what I've seen done with a lot of other sci-fi shows. No shade to Star Trek. But I was glad to see the strike episode happen. And I was glad to see how much of a nuanced stance it took. And I did think it was really funny that the end of it was Jeff using a legal loophole to just give them everything they wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
It was cute and it was fun. and it was nice. And I was like, that's really easy, Jeff. And you are going to get your ass bitten off at some point, because this is like the 5th time you've done this.
Yeah.
He loves to flout the Senate.
Mhm.
I'm all about flouting the Senate. It seems like the Senate sucks. I think the Senate might suck worse than the president.
It's due to be flouted.
Yeah, it could afford to be flouted.
I think I did clap when he said, "I'd like to see the writing of that the Senate order or whatever it is. I want to see it in writing." And I was like, "Oh, loophole! Loophole's coming."
Oh, I can do anything I want to. Anything to stop it? Great. Here you go. Have all the things you want.
Yeah.
But he's done this. I don't mean to broaden the discussion right away, but that's kind of the main thing that stuck out to me, is because I was like, oh, this is a really tough issue. I wonder how he's going to resolve it. And he resolved it by cheating, kind of, and handing everything over to the people, which is what I wanted to have happen. But it's never that easy, I think. And that never happens politically, especially, without some form of repercussion. Yeah. So I'm worried. Knowing if this were episodic, I would not be worried, but it's serialized. And so I am worried for Dear Sweet Jeff, because Dear Sweet Jeff has done a lot of things. Like in the Death Walker, he was going to make this whole deal that was going to tie Earth's hands behind its back. With the sanctions thing, he just goes out and starts blowing people up. He's like, yeah, we're not fighting. Don't worry. I'm just going to go blow some people up so that you don't have to do sanctions. He's been deliberately giving Earth Force and the Senate the runaround. And I know he has a certain amount of power because he's commander on Babylon 5, but I don't know if he has enough power to do this for 5 seasons. Yeah. Because that seems too easy in a show that appears to kind of have creeping fascism as a major underlying theme.
Speaking of creeping fascism, the act that he used...
You do little else these days. Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
I know. The act that he used for the legal loophole was called the Rush Act, which was named after Rush Limbaugh, which... do you remember Rush Limbaugh, Gus? Do you know who that was? Yeah. Yeah, he's like the proto Alex Jones. Yeah. And,
why was it named after Rush Limbaugh?
Because he's
I think just because he was
Rush Limbaugh. So,
it was JMS called it that. It's not like I think in the history of Babylon 5.
Yeah.
In the real world of Babylon 5.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant contextually. It was like Rush Limbaugh did this thing and was like,
No, it was just because he hated him. And somebody from the UK, at the time, asked him, it's named after Rush. Who is Rush Limbaugh? And he described him as leading American proctologist.
That's good.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very good. Yeah. I thought it was like a joke on Riot Act, which I don't really know, but the Rush Act works for me.
Yeah.
I actually, because I watched this after y'all, and so I actually went back and rewound it at that, because they were like, the blah, 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 I'm going to have to invoke the blah, blah Act, was what I heard. And I was like, did they just say the Insurrection Act? Like, what? I was like, how contextual is this? Is what I was wondering. Yeah. And then I was like, the Rush Act, and I'm like looking up the Rush Act to see what the Rush Act is. I'm like, it's fiction.
It's fiction. It's not
fiction.
Real.
we can just say things.
Yeah.
We can just make up words.
Yeah. This was another, he said at the time, this is another not Star Trek episode, because you wouldn't get this on Star Trek, because there would be no unions. Everybody, you don't have money or whatever. Whereas this is, we're still dealing with capitalism being a bit of a problem. I know you're thinking Miles O'Brien. Are you thinking Miles O'Brien?
I'm thinking Miles O'Brien, but I'm also thinking you would get this on Star Trek in that you would have that resolution on Star Trek.
Yeah, of we're just
you would have the I freaked you with the okie doke resolution, and it would be like labor guys on a planet, that the Enterprise, that the Federation was trying to negotiate with
within the Federation. That's it wouldn't be happening within the Federation.
This was definitely. I agree. I went, well, there were elements of it that were more Star Trek than a lot of the other episodes we watched. But no, that's a very good point.
Yeah, because there's still capitalism. Like a couple episodes ago, when they were during the episode "We Shall Never Talk About Again," Believers, when they were talking about can you afford paying? For
that?
No, they don't have universal health care. They still have to pay for stuff.
And I was like, how do they not have universal health care? Was my thought. And then, go ahead.
Londo too. Londo was like, "Yeah, I could help you. Do you have money?"
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, speaking of universal healthcare, like, they're also not shying away from just like dropping it hard at the beginning of an episode. I mean, they're like, yeah, it's not just like, oh, it's not safe. One of our workers almost got hurt.
Yeah. No, he died.
He's died.
Yeah.
Fully died.
A man's brother is dead.
Yeah. And this was right after, I mean, like, this is like death, 3 episodes in a row, because it's in Survivors, which was the last one before this. It started with the guy getting injured
and then dying
in the thing, and then dying and then like them like questioning him before he died. We never did find out how he set up Garibaldi, why he said it was Garibaldi.
No, I will tell you, according to the notes, it was like JMS said, it was just opportunistic. He was just like,
he just wanted to be a dick, just a parting shot.
Yeah, like he was home guard, right? He's evil, like he's a racist, so he's just like figure that guy, like it was
right. Oh, right, because he was actually trying to do the sabotage.
Yeah,
trying to do the sabotage.
Yeah,
is that what we do? We do the sabotage.
Yeah, you do sabotage.
You do sabotage if you want.
Yeah. Do
Let's
the
keep playing with
that
phrases.
You do.
So. You do it.
That's the one thing I will say, because we watched those episodes back to back. You said 3 episodes in a row. I was like, oh yeah, this one, Believers, and Deathwalker. I'd forgotten that we had Garibaldi having the worst day of his life. Well, not the worst day of his life. The third worst day of his life.
Yeah.
In between for a second.
Yeah.
But it's all come back to me now.
Yes.
Without Googling anything.
Yes. There's Celine in my head again. Sorry. It's all coming back to me now.
Here's one of the things I loved about this episode, though, in terms of the writing of it. And, you know, they talk about it's great to put characters in a tight, small space, because conflict happens when you put people in a tiny little space together. The other thing is just like the pressure they were throwing on Jeff in this whole episode.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like constantly, and like Londo being like, you know, I need something. And wait, this is G'Kar needing
G'Kar,
the flower.
Oh,
God.
I was gonna bring
Yeah.
Flower.
Yeah. And G'Kar being like, where's my flower? I need my flower. You got to do the thing for me. And like, and the whole Londo thing in the background of it. And it was just, again, like, you know, him getting pulled here, pulled there. It was great. It was really fun to watch him hold it together, even though he was being pulled tight.
Did you see in the notes, Michael O'Hare came in, like, I think late one day, and he hadn't shaved. And they were like, oh, good, do that. You're not allowed to shave for the rest of the episode. no shaving.
Yeah.
So.
And then they dropped that line at the end of like, he's like, I've been up for like 27 hours, 48 hours or something. And I was like, yeah.
What was the hook was right, that he had to go and do the flower thing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to talk about that storyline. We got Londo being real petty with a flower. I know at the beginning when it started, you were like fully, what's G'Kar's deal? Like you were on Londo's side at the beginning.
Well, not real. I mean, I was joking about that.
Yeah.
I was kind of leaning into a bit. I was like, oh, he needs this for a religious ceremony. Londo should give it to him. He's not going to, because he's a dick.
Right.
To G'Kar, because they hate each other.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have understood it more if G'Kar had not wanted to give something to Londo, because Londo was the occupier to G'Kar, so I feel like that's just kind of rubbing it in at that point. But I also understand that, you know, like I made those 2 popping mouth emojis on the Discords of Londo and G'Kar specifically looking at each other and gabbing at each other, because like their interplay and their combativeness drives like 30% of the show, I feel like. At first I thought it was more, and then the show expanded out and I'm like, no, okay, that's an element of it. But no, like I was not earnestly like, G'Kar, it's just a cheesecake, who cares? I say stuff, you know, during the videos.
I wasn't sure when did you realize that it was a religious thing, because it's been a couple of weeks, so I don't know, but it was or a week.
Pretty quick. I mean, sometimes when you queue up the episode, there's a 2-sentence blurb, and it's difficult to see none of it. And this one started with G'Kar needs a flower for a religious ceremony. I went, oh,
okay.
So this is something that actually matters.
That matters, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so pretty much immediately. I know that it was for something important.
But it was an interesting. It was also an interesting take on G'Kar. I mean, we like he is pretty consistently a dick as well. So it was like, oh, you have something that actually means something to you, not just getting your name back or something for the home world. Like it was still it was for his people because he was the leader, because he was the highest ranking member outside of. But it was just an interesting, softer take on him. Yeah, that was nice to see.
It's funny
the responsibility that he felt for doing it for everybody. Like I like that. Yeah.
And I don't think that was purely selfish. I don't think it was like, if I don't do this, I will look bad. I think he was genuinely, earnestly like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
It is funny to me that the episodes so far where G'Kar has had major plot relevance, have mostly been this one and the assassination episode.
Right.
Where he's been kind of like the primary driving force of what you could call the A-plot. But in both of them, I forgot about his plot.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I forget about the assassination, and I forget we talked for 20 minutes before I went, oh right, the flower. Which is weird, and I feel like I don't know why that's happening. That might just be me. But I think it's also funny because those are also the episodes where, Jen, to your point, G'Kar is also the least dickish. And the most kind of out of character, not out of character, but out of archetype from what I had pinned him as in my head when I first met him, which is the mean clown. I've said before that I feel like Londo is the funny clown and G'Kar is the mean clown, unless it's one of these episodes, and then Londo's the mean clown and G'Kar is the sad clown.
But it's interesting. It's interesting that you say that, though, because you're right. I mean, I did too. We were like, the strike. It's all about the strike. And then, oh, right, the flower. There's a whole thing with that. You just called them both clowns. But part of what I do love is that G'Kar, Londo faces, looking at each other and yammering at each other about something that's probably not that important. But in these two episodes that you're citing right now, and in this one in particular, it is important. It's important to G'Kar, and there's a reason. Yeah. And in fact, like the strike workers are like, "Who the fuck cares about your cargo people?" And we're like, "But his
it
flower,
is actually important.
It's important.
It's actually important.
So, yeah. And so there's I don't know. It's interesting. He loses his buffoonishness.
I just want to clarify. When I say clown, it is not meant as an insult.
No,
clown. When I say clown, I just mean like heightened. A little bit exaggerated. Parts of it are meant to entertain and make people kind of laugh and go, look at this. I'm not saying like, what a clown in a bad way. I know a lot of, I know clowns and I've worked with clowns and they're really, really cool. And agree that they are, I mean, part in me pointing out that they are meant to be comic relief. Like they are there to lighten the story when the story, I mean, even in the episode that may not be named ever again or talked about. It was really good.
It was a good episode.
And they're both dickishly clownish, if you will, in that episode, like when they're both like, sorry, like, what are you going to do for me? Like, what, sorry, I don't get involved in other people's politics. But they still also, like, just watching that happen with them going to them and them, like, knowing that they were going to each ramp it up and you were going to get to the next one because you wanted to see what the next person said. It still did offer, it was the only levity in that episode. With those, like, in some ways.
Between that and
Ivanova
work stoppppage because we're dying. Ivanova. The way you animated the lasers and the explosion, I
just timed it to you saying pew pew pew. That's all I did.
It's still really funny because pew 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 isn't funny, but when you animate it, it is. So that doesn't matter though. That's the podcast people are like, we don't watch that. We don't care. Just
Jenny's really good at that. 3 minutes of every reaction. If you don't want to watch the whole reaction, the animations are very, very fun. In my heart of hearts, my ultimate dream is we will eventually have enough money to pay people to edit the reaction and I could just focus on the animation.
Love it.
That would be my goal.
Love it.
Yeah, this is an animation short series with a podcast and reaction video attached to it.
Attached to it.
That's exactly the bonus package.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Normally, I am very bad at like figuring out a way to connect the A and the B plot. Like I'm just watching and I'm along for the ride. This is one where I went, oh, I see it. It's so good. Jeff finding a loophole in both plots, I think works so fucking well. Because it was that's what he did. Like he was like, loophole, I'm going to take all the money and give it to the workers. And then loophole, light speed. There you go. Like,
it's the light that left it last year.
Yeah.
But it's
third loophole, Londo, this is just weed.
Yes.
You can't have that.
You can't have that. That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point. I was thinking, you were like, I know exactly what the linkage is. And I was like, oh God, you do? I have no idea what the linkage is, apart from the fact that they dovetail really well plot-wise.
Yes.
Yes.
But thematically...
I was like, I don't know.
It's just Jeff being real smart. Jeff. That was a thing. Katherine apparently, like, it's such an easy thing. But Kat is one of her... I'm just going to figure out how to say this properly. Something she likes to write, she likes it better when characters behave smart rather than stupid. Which, don't we all? But that's apparently like a characteristic of her writing, is just...
Not Robert Jordan sometimes, I'll tell you what.
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I get hit with the stupid stick, like around book, what?
A few times.
Six,
yeah. So, but yeah, other behind-the-scenes stuff, pretty much all of the crew are in this episode as part of the strikers. Like... Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they've got the DP in there, and the DP's there, and the one of the producers is in there, I think.
Has a line, like one of them has a line, like we're going on strike or something. Yeah.
I did really like the chatter. There were a few times when the strikers were chattering in the background, probably ADR, but it was very, very ADR being additional dialogue recording, where you come in later and you dub stuff in over it. Very funny though.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Sorry, I found the quote that was, I was like trying to quote. She thinks that characters are more interesting if they act smart than if they act stupid. That's...
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that too. I would agree with that too. I love that. I also loved the choice to make the union leader a woman.
Yeah. And a fairly petite woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of these dock worker guys are towering over her.
Yep.
And then she's just shoving them around and telling them what to do and advocating for them. It was great.
And I was glad that they didn't go to the trope of them saying like, well, you're not taking care of us, and like coming after her. Like they kind of had her back the whole time too, which I thought was great. Yeah. Yeah.
Show's not woke though.
Not at all.
Not even
Definitely
a little bit.
Woke.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little woke.
Nope. And I loved her actually. Again, this is like speaks to the writing of the episode. I loved that the choice was that when she was just with the dock workers, she was like, we can't strike. We got to keep it together. Like, settle down. Nobody do something stupid. And then as soon as Garibaldi or anybody walked in, she was like, and she was like, after them, and like, it was really great. It was a nice show. It was really realistic, and it was great. I loved it.
She was wonderful. Really hope she comes back.
She was great.
Unlike the fucking reporter who crawled out of the pit of hell.
Where did she show up from?
Banished her to, swatting around the goddamn command dome again.
Being really angry again.
The performer is doing such a good job of making me hate that character.
Yeah, but you know what the best part was? When Ivanova chased her off.
Again.
And when she counted down 5, 4, 3, I was like, do it.
Was she the one to whom Ivanova said, don't do it, you're too young to experience that much pain? Or was that somebody else? Because I
missed that completely.
The different episodes, several episodes ago, somebody was on the bridge pestering Jeff.
Oh, that's right. And
Ivanova intercedes and goes, don't do it. You're too young to experience that kind of pain. And I was like, what the fuck? If this is a runner of just the shit reporter gets kicked off the bridge by Ivanova in increasingly threatening ways.
Yes, please.
That's fine. I can handle the shitty reporter woman if I forgot Marianne.
Marianne is her name. Yeah.
God damn it, I hate Marianne. She is so annoying.
people in the comments were like, "Oh yeah, a lot of people hate Kodath. Kodath were like best character ever."
Yeah.
Marianne, I want to airlock Marianne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't. But I hate Marianne.
I'm right there with you.
She's the worst. She's the Rush Limbaugh of the show, isn't she?
The Rush Limbaugh of the show, sure.
It's the Marianne Act.
Yeah.
We'll just call it the Marianne Act.
Yeah. There's
She's
another reporter that shows up a couple of times so far, except she's never on the ship. She's always on TV. I don't know. You'll just notice her. She was in the pilot, and she was in not this episode, but I think last episode.
Yeah, she was in Survivors. I think,
Survivors,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, about the when they were trying to blow up they tried to blow up the president last episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's just on the television.
She was just reporting on like the president's going to be coming to Babble On 5.
So I just think that's kind of cool that they have like the report. Oh, a cat.
We have a cat.
Everybody tab in. Tab in.
We got the cat, and there she goes. There she goes.
Oh my God, she's here.
But yeah, I just think it's kind of cool that they have like, because reporters are consistent people. Like that's real in the real world. They aren't bringing in a different reporter every time. It's the same reporter on TV. It's the same woman, your favorite reporter on the bridge. So.
Yep.
Now I'm hoping she comes back, actually, because I have so much fun whenever she shows up.
Yeah, I do like the idea that Ivanova continues to just hate on her.
It's great. It's really, really funny. No, and look, here I feel the keyboards. I love that this character exists, and I love the purpose she serves, and I think that it's really, actually, really, really, really important that she's there, being inflammatory and being awful, and just accusing people of stuff and trying to drum up. It's the reason why she pisses me off so much is because she's so realistic,
right?
And because she is so incredibly relevant to a lot of journalism, quote unquote, that goes on today. That is why she pisses me off so much.
Okay,
and it is also why I want her to stay around and actually become more and more of a presence. Even if every time she shows up, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yes, it is a little odd, or that she could be on the bridge. I feel like
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, get off the bridge. Yeah. What are you doing? There are people doing important work here, including that actress who's been in like 9 episodes and we don't know who she is.
She's great.
She even says it though, as Ivanova's kicking her off and counting down. She's like, she says something like, you're dampening the public's ability to know what's going on. I mean, she like throws out the journalistic the Hippocratic oath for journalists. You kicking me off of here is you're suppressing information, which she's not actually. They're just like, we have to do our job here, and you're in the way, and you're causing us to not be able to take care of the job.
Yeah,
but that sentiment, I think, is also interesting and worth exploring. And we can say if she's coming from the side of she's twisting the truth or making, is it gotcha journalism that she's actually doing, then, or not, or is she actually just trying to tell us what's there and getting kicked out? I don't know. It'll be fun to watch it.
Yeah, I would care less about the bridge thing if she had like Earth Force sent this reporter. Right. Earth Force, she has press credentials that let her go on the bridge. Because it seems like she's just a tabloid
wandering
journalist,
about.
Practically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that if you're just a reporter, they're not going to let you into a classified military briefing to do whatever you want. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let you walk around on the bridge of the Enterprise, the aircraft carrier, just because you're there. I could be wrong. I'm not a journalist. No, but I'm pretty sure there are some areas where it's also not in the military. But I'm pretty sure there's certain things where you just can't do that. But again, it's the future and it's the space, and so whatever. She's back.
Maybe there really is a Marianne Act that allows her to just show up and be on the bridge.
Yeah. She passed it herself. She passed it by walking around in the Senate and grabbing people, like, vote for my thing, or I'm going to hit you with my hair. I don't know. She just riles me up.
She really does. She really does.
She's great.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any other things specific. Do you have any more things to say, Jen, about this one?
No, I don't think there's anything else I need to say now, and I obviously don't have anything to say for Great Council,
No.
so we can just like close it right
Yeah,
down.
nothing that matters
Not a
happens in this
Absolutely.
episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a thing. Although
Yeah.
I do want to point out that my cat is in ecstasy right now.
The cat
So-
looks beyond blissed out.
Very blissed
She
out.
really does. She really
Yeah,
does.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of purring that's not picking up in the mic, but it's very nice. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else. I mean, I just think that I think this is an example of, it's a one-off episode, but I feel like they are making sure that there are even small pieces that we look for to either pay off later or reflect back to something we've seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you say it's a one-off episode. I feel like I have very sneaking suspicions that a lot of stuff might come up again.
Okay.
I don't think this is the last we've seen of the Troy romancer guy, or in the red, or in the sleaze,
Or in the
I don't know.
slimy.
That's
Yeah.
or in the slimy. I don't think it's the last we've seen of the worker lady.
Okay. I can't remember her name,
Unfortunately, I don't
but
think it's the last we've seen of Marianne. And I just think that Jeff's broken the rules too many times, and someone's gonna come yell at him,
okay.
and they're gonna or something. I don't know. Probably not that guy.
Yeah.
He'll come back though because of the time you two went. I don't know. I just don't
Okay.
know.
I don't know.
Before Chekhov comes back, because Chekhov's coming back too.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Fascinating.
Oh,
Fascinating. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
We're gonna work on our plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I can neither
Stone
confirm
faces.
nor deny.
Allie comes up with theories and stares at me while she says them, and I've gotten very good at just looking back and not moving at all.
Yeah.
It's very important. Very good skill.
Takes a lot of time.
Yes.
Wait, Allie pulled that on me the first time you guys came over here for dinner.
I remember
she dropped
that.
something across the table, and I was like, I'm sitting here really still. Really still.
Yeah.
Well, David was there too, and David was
there
on book
too.
2 at the time.
Yeah.
So
So you have to, yeah. The only other thing I am going to mention, I can tell you nothing about it, but Katherine Drennan wrote a Babylon 5 novel as well, which is the only one that I've read so far. And
I won't Google her name.
no, you won't. But I really enjoyed the novel. Like, generally, I haven't read a lot of, like, I think I've read 2 novels associated with Star Trek, and they were fine. And I generally don't enjoy those. Like, they're not my thing.
Yeah.
But I went into it thinking, oh, this will be okay. And I really, really liked it. Like, it was really good. So she's a good writer. So
I thought the writing on this episode was fantastic, and JMS didn't mess with it.
No, that's good.
yes. Yeah.
You know,
I love his big overall arc.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, don't write dialogue.
Yes.
Just stop
The
it.
fluff can be someone else. You
just
can-
write story.
Yeah. yes.
I think maybe a contributing factor that, because I've read a couple of Star Trek novels, and there are franchise novels, there are Star Trek novels, there are Star Wars novels, there are Warhammer 40K novels that I've read, and they're usually fun, and some of them are very good, but most of those exist to be sold because they have a particular brand on them.
Right.
And I imagine that JMS is probably a little bit stricter with what you can label as a Babylon 5 story.
Yeah.
I
would argue
imagine,
that's
yeah.
probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm guessing that, if you... There's probably 500 Star Trek books. That Star Wars has the
there are
extended
not
universe
that
and the
many.
legends.
Yeah, not.
Yeah. Warhammer has like 5 it's a million. I don't even know how many books.
Yeah.
They're like a mill, and
Babylon
they're fun.
5
I've
is
read
like
several of them.
has a few dozen, like maybe a dozen. I've read one of them, but there's not.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near what Star Trek has. I know there's also comics that he wrote, but I have not.
Yeah,
right, because he wrote
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wrote comics and he writes Spider-Man and other stuff.
That's fun.
Yeah.
He's a great comic writer.
He really is.
Something, maybe that's part of it too, is like, when it's dialogue in a bubble, nothing, I write comic books too. Like, there's not, like, it should still be good dialogue, but there is something expositional naturally about comic book dialogue.
You can get away with a lot.
Yeah. And besides, whatever. I sound like I'm bagging on his writing all the time. The man has a career Yeah,
he writes a lot of good
amazing.
dialogue. He just also occasionally pushes the gas a little too hard.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's like with Robert Jordan. I think I've said this before. I sometimes will forget Robert Jordan is in Wheel of Time. Wrote the entire books. Like I only remember that he's writing them when I'm like, "Hey, Robert Jordan, why did you make that person do that thing? That was dumb."
Right.
Except for he also wrote everything else that I really, really loved. So
exactly.
On Wheel Takes, if he does something that pisses us off, like has women get naked or get spanked for no reason, we go, Robert!
Yep.
But if he does something we really like, which happens all the time as well,
all the time,
we go, oh man, Jim really did good. Because his actual name is Jim. So we've constructed a reality where James Oliver Rigney Jr. is this compassionate, brilliant, thoughtful,
insightful,
measured writer.
Yeah.
Nuanced, and then every once in a while he gets Jekyll and Hyde into Robert Jordan, who just writes some of the weirdest shit you've ever fucking read.
Nynaeve really loved
and we're like, what happened?
By Val and Luca. There you go, Robert.
Yeah, or anything in book 7.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Or writes it over and over and over again, and you're like, look, if I'm on book 8, I know who they are.
I know what a warder is.
I'm in.
But I didn't mean to Wheel of Time this. We could do that for hundreds of hours.
Yes.
But to your point, I do wonder if part of that is because I know he didn't write every episode of season 1, but the way you said not in season 1 long ago makes me think he probably, because he wrote like half of them in season 1. And I imagine he wrote a lot.
Yeah, I think so far
I imagine he wrote
half,
a lot of other ones. And if you're doing that much pen to paper, I will be more forgiving of Ivanova's knitting than I might otherwise.
Right.
I'll leave so you can do stuff unless there's anything else.
No, I think I'm out of things to say about this one, except Union Strong.
Union Strong. You guys got your you guys SAG after pin. I just wear shirts that says birds aren't real.
Yes, that's a different form of striking something, I think. Yeah. I know I forgot I was gonna wear my WGA t-shirt, my WGA striking t-shirt today as well, but I forgot to.
Well, if you guys have your gray tool robes and creepy sticks and
scepter,
hanging triangles ready, then I can dip out.
Yeah.
So
we've got our. Let's see. Wait, I think I can put a hood on right now.
There we go.
Oh, very good.
Oh,
very good. I bet you can see through that too. That's got to be part of the thumbnail.
It definitely should be.
Okay. You want me out of here?
Yeah. Go away.
Bye.
Love you.
All right.
Love you.
Love you all.
Ah, my friends! You have reached the most dangerous part of our journey, the Grey Council. Here we speak of things that must not be spoken. Secrets, betrayals, spoilers. If you are not ready, turn back now. But if you dare to proceed, I promise you it will be magnificent. Oh, Mr. Garibaldi!
We've got to be. I think we're doing a pretty good job of working on our neutral faces. I mean, you could literally just
go
jump
out
in a
of
frame and your
frame,
avatar will hold still.
Yes.
I, however, have to work harder at it. But yeah, I mean, he's like hitting all the. He's like, this is coming back. This is coming back. This is coming back. And we literally just said to each other off camera before Gus came on, like, yeah, all this is going to come back and bite him in the ass.
Yep. Yep. That it will.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Marianne comes back though.
I don't either.
I knew she came back at least once, but I don't remember if she comes back again.
I don't think she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta look up that
actress. But the on-screen reporter who was in,
yeah.
I put you. Did you see that? I put her in the thumbnail of the last one just for you.
Thanks. Thank you. Yes.
It's a little Easter egg until later.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was also, it's funny though, because I didn't watch this back to back like y'all did. By the time I watched it, which was literally only a few hours later after we watched Survivors, I'd completely forgotten that Jeff's whole world turned, not Jeff, Garibaldi's whole world turned upside down in the last episode. And so I was like, perfectly comfortable and fine with him, going into the union, talking to the union, and being like, I'm blue collar, I came from blue collar family, I get this, I can I'm an advocate for you.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I was doing the thumbnails for Survivors that I was like, wait a minute. We just like he just went back to normal. Again, that like just leading into we could wrap this up with Gus, but the one-off aspect of some things and the like, oh, we wrote this, but it needs more effects, so we're going to swap it to a different place.
Right.
Or it's, and just making the little pieces of continuity like that feel like 90s television before they were really going to hit it as hard as they eventually will hit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did just look her up.
Yeah.
Her full name is Marianne Kramer, and she is only in 2 episodes, so she's done.
Yeah, there we go.
But both times it says, like,
done.
in her little bio here on the Babylon 5 project page, both times she had to be removed from CNC by Ivanova. So, yeah.
Oh, it was Ivanova who did it for the first time.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
So,
oh, Gus is going to be disappointed that he's never going to get to see that again. We can reenact it at some point.
Yeah.
If we need to. I'll be Marianne. You can be Ivanova.
Yes. Yes. Oh. I'm pretty sure the actor who, like the guy whose brother dies, I'm pretty sure he shows up in a later episode.
Oh, good. I liked him. And I, he was familiar enough to me too, that I think you might be right, because I was like, I feel like I know him more than just here.
Like, and not like a big role, but I'm pretty sure he's like, just like they interview him or somebody interviews him and he's like, yeah, no, it's okay here. Like, or something. I can't remember for sure. So don't quote me on that, except I'm recording.
Yeah. Or don't add us if we're wrong, because we might be.
Don't add us. Yeah. Don't. I mean, you can leave a comment and tell me if I'm right or wrong. It's fine. It's good for the algorithm. So
fine. Add us. Go ahead and add us as much as you want.
As far as full story, like, yes, this as Gus kept saying, flouting of the Senate is definitely going to be a problem for Sinclair. Although not as much of a problem. Although you could use it as a reason why he got kicked off the station, because they do just remove him completely. Yeah. And in the book that Katherine ended up writing, they like basically isolate him on Minbar. They make it very difficult for him to, like, both Earth and the Minbari don't want him interacting with Earth after he gets removed. Earth, because they're just very mad at him. And they consider him, Clark has decided that he's a traitor.
Right. And
the Minbari are trying to, I think, set him up to become leader of the Rangers. So they're trying to have him become more and more Minbari. So this could be part of that. Like, he's already showed himself disloyal. But I would suspect that it was meant to be even a bigger thing, Yeah.
I mean, and I think part of it is I can't talk about it because you haven't seen it yet, but I just watched a Strange New Worlds episode.
I'm so sorry.
That was fucking amazing, and that a friend of mine actually directed.
Ooh.
And it was fucking amazing. It was my favorite episode so far in the season. But it happened to have a stronger... I don't want to spoil this for you. Anyway, my point is, leaving that one aside, I think there's some tropiness to the Sinclair flouting that feels Kirk-esque,
right?
A little bit like I know Prime Directive, but we're going to go off book kind of thing, and almost more like even Kirk in the movies, in the J.J. Abrams movies.
Yeah, I can see that.
Than original Kirk, because original Kirk was, kind of went his own way, but not like that far. He was still pretty Starfleet. And I think the Chris Pine one is definitely
because it's a movie, so it's more heightened.
Yeah, it's a movie, and it's also different. It's a
different timeline, Kelvin timeline, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Blah blah. Exactly, alternate timeline. So anyway, I think that there's some aspect of that I think is a tropey character in sci-fi, the captain who kind of goes his own way, and so I do think to some degree, agreeing that there isn't going to be as much of an actual consequence for Sinclair and that behavior, in part because he gets removed, in part because of
what happens,
the actor's issues. And so there's a lot of reasons why it's not going to pay off as well as we would like it to, I think. But I also think some of it is just like playing that trope of like, he can find, it's not a Deus Ex Machina moment, but he can find a way to be the hero even for something that's diplomatic or not action pact.
Yeah.
You know, and we also had him, like, you know, we had that character throwing himself into battle and throwing himself into starfighters and things, you know, for the first few episodes, and like putting himself in danger, and then had the whole conversation with Garibaldi about it, and has done less so of that, I think, since then.
Yeah.
We aren't seeing him. I mean, he's still jumping in and beating people up, but he's not perking it. And it's, and so I think that this is a way to have him still have that behavior without literally throwing himself
in harm's way,
you know, into harm's way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. The other story with G'Kar and Londo, this time around, and I've never thought of this before, but of course watching it with Gus makes me start seeing things differently. It's one of the reasons that we all love first-time readers in Wheel of Time and first-time viewers for shows like this. Like, it makes you think things differently. I kind of saw what happened with Londo and G'Kar this time as like a microcosm of their entire arc. Like with Londo basically violating them and I'm going to ruin your religious practice. I'm going to ruin your culture. And then through intervention, G'Kar winning. Like it was a whole, Londo was being really petty, and he does become very petty in his genocide. Like it gets petty at times. And I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Like it's foreshadowing their entire arc.
Yeah. I felt like it was too, and I was aware of it, and I was also like, again, just these two really, really excellent actors portraying lots of subtext and lots of subtlety in their exchanges.
Yes.
Because it could have just been as simple as like gloating, but it was gloating, but there was more to it as well.
Yeah, like there and then like the way G'Kar had to like almost debase himself to try and get what he needed. Like it's it's the layers in their performance. Like every time they're like wow. And we haven't even gotten to like some of their best scenes together, but every time it's just they're good. They're not so fucking good. So
yeah, they both really are. Yeah, which makes it. I'm like, you know, I hope and assume too that as actors it was a fun set to be on, and that was a fun place to play.
Yeah. Well, I know, I mean, again, from JMS's autobiography, like JMS went to visit Andrew Katsoulis when he was basically dying. So there is an assumption that they were friendly. And Gus can't watch the Blu-rays, obviously, or the DVDs, because we're watching it off of the Blu-rays that we bought. And the DVDs, the extras, I don't know how many seasons he has, but some of the extras will have spoilers. But I first watched the series the full time through on DVD. Like I told you, I got it in the mail. And one of the interesting things about this show is they had a very hard out every day. They were always done by 7. And so, you know, this show was known for being on time and under budget. And part of being under budget, I'm assuming, was we weren't doing overtime. But that was something that all of the actors really appreciated, is that we had this job where I was allowed to have a life. Like I could get home and eat dinner with my kids. So I think most of them had a positive experience.
Yeah. And that in and of itself too, as a, you know, Clint Eastwood is known for that as well, for his sets, like ending by dinner time. You know, you can get home and be with your family. It's interesting though, because, and this doesn't surprise me, and I also get it because I recognize it in myself, but everybody was done at 7 except JMS.
Probably, yeah.
Because he ended up having to go home and read the script for the next day, or rewrite the script for the next day, or write the script that was going to be
or
next
like
week.
Editing for the previous one, or going it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and of course that's typical. Like that's a showrunner's job, and a showrunner is in charge of everything, and they, you know, like, so set reps and they still have to do stuff, but it often like trickles down, and it is like, it's always a tricky thing when you're a showrunner to decide if you're like, okay, I know I'm going to have to work on the weekend, but I don't want to respond to anything on the weekend, or like tell people, because it sets the example of I'm expecting y'all to work on the weekend. And it's a, you know, and then at the same time also trying to maintain your own personal boundaries. And like, you know, JMS in his autobiography talks about how, I think during season 3, he and Katherine split up.
3 was when he, like, that's 3 is when he writes from 3 to the end of the series. He writes every single episode except for 1.
And he said to her, I can't be a partner right now. I need to just take care of me in the show. And also, like, that's not healthy.
No.
You know, like, and it's tricky. And it does.
Well, he knows it wasn't healthy. Like, he will say, like, I went into the show with dark hair and the show ended and I had white hair. And, like, actors were leaving vitamins on my desk being like, you don't look well.
But it's also, it's like, you know, and it's funny because I've had that same conversation 3 times today in 3 different places. I went to this industry event tonight where I was talking to somebody in the industry about how studios are like, we love this gold that you made us. Thank you so much. We know that we gave you a budget of XYZ last year, but this year you're just going to get XY.
Right.
Like, because everybody's tightening their belts. You know, the strike happened, whatever it is. There's always a good excuse for Hollywood to say we have to make it cheaper the next time because they see that you could do it in one way and they're like, I bet you're clever. Yeah. I bet you can find corners to cut.
And that's how he ended up writing everything because they were like, oh, we see you can write everything. Yeah. You don't need writers. We're not paying for that. It's like,
I'm a very, very fast writer, and I am careful with the fact that I don't normally announce that on a podcast that people will listen to. Never mind. I'm a really, really slow writer.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm careful sometimes when I'm working with someone who hasn't worked with me before to not say, don't worry, I can do it in a couple days, because it's not a fair expectation that I should have to do it in a couple days. And it also isn't fair to other writers who actually need the real amount of time that we normally take to do something, when someone will say, well, Jen did it in 2 days. Why can't you?
Yeah.
And so in a way, like, we as writers and showrunners do allow ourselves to be taken advantage of when a studio says, but you can write them all. And don't you want to anyway? And you're like, well, you know, not really.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's not a new problem. I mean, it was something they were doing in the 90s and they were like, we have to cut the budget a second season. And I had literally 3 distinct different conversations today with people where that has happened on their shows this year or last year.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's just silly.
And of course, the people at the top are making so much money. Capitalism.
Speaking of the strike, I think my favorite sign that I carried during the writer's strike said something like, my writing pays your salary, Zaslav, or something like that, which was accurate. Like, I didn't write that sign. I just walked up one day and I found someone had made that sign and I was like, this is my sign. Yeah. Or like, my show got canceled, but to pay your salary, Zaslav, or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, accurate, and accurate.
Yes. Oh God.
It's a good episode to be talking about the strike and be talking about like the abuse of our working people.
Yeah, I've got now this song in my head by, I think, what's her name? I don't know. There's a creator, I think Celine is her name. Celine, whatever. But she has a song on her channel. It goes, are you depressed or is it just CAPITALIS? It's just, are you depressed or is it capitalism? I don't know.
Yes.
It sucks.
Accurate.
It sucks. So
I know.
But yeah.
I thought we'd be past that after the 90s, but no, we're not.
Nope. And apparently, according to Babble On 5 or 2258, we're still fucking there. So the next episode is a big one, which is the reason why we're filming this on a Sunday, I believe. Time is it makes no sense.
No.
But we're filming it in between so that we would make sure to have time. We're
filming this in 2258.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we would have time next time because we wanted to make sure we had the time for signs and portents because that's a big one. And we're going to have a special guest next time, hopefully. So
we are. We're going to have a special guest. And it's also signs and portents being both the name of the episode and the overarching name of season 1.
Yeah.
Which means it's a
big
tentpole episode.
Yeah.
It's important.
I find it so interesting. The way JMS, when he pitched the story, you would never have to say this now, I think, but he would try and explain it as it's a novel for television to try and explain that it's a continuous story. Like, you wouldn't say that.
Well, you do still today, though. Actually, it's funny because, again, another conversation I had earlier today, but the show that my husband Dave is running at Nickelodeon is called Max and the Midnights. It's based on books by Lincoln Peirce, who writes the Big Nate comics and books. But David describes it as like, he describes it either as like an 880 or 440 minute movie.
Okay.
Like because it's one whole story, one whole continuous story, or like they're those books put onto screen, and they're, it's a continuity book. It's Big Nate is a comic strip. Like everyone can be a one-off, which is also by the same author. But this is actually a novel that needs to be put down and on the page, or on the screen.
Yeah, I guess, people could, because I always thought the reason he had to explain it like that was to try and get them to understand that it was serialized. Like, no, it's one book.
And it's true. Yeah, it's true. But in kids television, you still have to fight that fight. Like we're starting to see more of it happening and people being a little more open to it. But in kids television, it tends to be, a really uphill battle to tell someone you want to tell a story that the kids, I mean, honestly, in some ways, streaming is helping with that. Mm-hmm. Back when we were putting out 5 shows a week of a kids show that could air in any order and you just like throw them out there. But now that people drop them all or they binge them all and they sit down and they see all 10 and the streaming services have the like automatic
play the next
episode up in 5, 4, 3, so it's like kids watch them in order.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can serialize it a little better now.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway,
the reason I was saying that is I always think of it not as one novel, but as like a series, a 5-book series.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I think of it. So the first book is called Signs and Portents. Like,
Yes.
Yeah. But yes. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to what do you want Morden showing up. So
I know. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Because I feel like for me too, this is part of me. I think up until now, part of why my memory is so spotty is that the episodes up until now they drop hints, but they are a little more one-offy.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to get into where I'm like, oh yeah, this is the stuff I know.
This is like that. This is the one that sort of turns it basically, if you were watching this live the first time, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like that's the one. Yeah. So, but with that, thank you so much for joining us. Like, subscribe, rate us, review us, watch the reaction, join our Patreon. That's it, I think, that I say. So, yes, join us next time.
I think that's it.
Yeah. On Babble On.
On Babble On.
Yes.